Hi, everybody. Let's see. Let's make sure that I'm on. Okay, looks like I'm on. Okay. I just want to thank everybody. And I hope one of the things that I really hope after looking at everybody's comments and following and all of that, I hope that supporters are not being bullied, intimidated, threatened, harassed, because we have been, and from the very beginning, anybody that was helping us was being family members, friends, all that, harassed and threatened and intimidated and bullied. And so I hope that that's still not going on. Um, for us, it's become well, we trace the numbers, right? We trace the burner phone numbers that this was coming to us at, and of course they've tried new things and that, but um, you know, but we just the stakes are so high here, right? You just cannot tolerate um, uh, letting this case go and not getting accountability for Richard. We're at day 1,698. And so, I think they know that we know what they did and we want accountability and that we know how high the stakes are, that this is absolutely our son's murder. Well, his whistleblowing, the retaliation they did to him, the targeting of him that they did, the abuse of their power, that they used the tools that we entrusted them, his superiors, that they use those, they abuse their powers and use those tools against our son. They used it, and and he was murdered, and they used their powers to cover it up. We know they did. The evidence is overwhelming. We have a robust mountain of evidence that absolutely uh, confirms that this was um, a systematic murder of our son, um, with the with the approval of his command. And and that is so heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking. And it is cartel tied. Okay. So that implicates his unit with the cartel. Um, and the command, how far that goes up. It is very interesting because of what we know about General Garrett, what we know about General Kelly. Um, and we're going to leave it to the investigators for that um, to discover how far up that goes. I can tell you this that Nadal Baim, the the FBI man, the one that walked into the Dollar General, he's Palestinian. Um, really amazing little education. He has a record for the big T. Um, but yet he's the father-in-law of Lieutenant Colonel Bradford Bugado in the G3 of the 32nd ADCOM. Now that is jaw-dropping, okay? Um, So something is very wrong there. Very, very wrong. And knowing the connections that Nadal Beam has, besides his um, son-in-law that is in Richard's command in G3, which is, they're the planners. It's kind of like a wedding planner, right? They know who's going to do the music. They know who is going to bring the cake. They know what kind of flowers. They know how everything is going to run. That's G3 in air defense. In air defense artillery. They know where it's going, what's going on. They do the op orders. And so, for Nadal Baim to have all of these very questionable, very linked to Richard, very linked um, connections, and then being part of Western frontier trading. And I didn't mean to talk about this. I want to talk about the judges, right? But being part of Western frontier trading and more, and trying to, or bidding $3 million of ammunition to the El Paso Police Department. Um, Something is very, very fishy and all of that. And when he walks into a Dollar General and says that he's FBI, that the FBI has found Richard, that they can take down the flyers off of the door, meaning that the search is over because they found Richard, and that it's Richard's remains they found, and that it was in Juarez, and that he's dead, of course. Um, and to keep it a secret. Remember the keep it a secret? That kind of stuff absolutely is, and for the command to lie to our face and say he's just a nobody when he is somebody big, y'all, he's somebody very big. And for the FBI to say he's nobody, it's it's very telling. It's very telling that there is a systemic cover up, a systemic crime operation, and a systemic cover up. So, I think the big issue right now, during the Biden regime, it was the weaponization of our intelligence community, of the FBI, um, CIA, to weaponize it. And we saw that in every way, to fabricate charges and things like that against their political opponents. And we've said this from the beginning, that the Walmart mass shooting, the target, no matter what you hear in the narrative, right? Because a false narrative is a false narrative, and it's proven to be a false narrative, and we have it all, and we've given it out. But that the narrative, the true narrative, the true target was President Trump. Okay, that was because Richard was, had support from the administration of what he was complaining about, and there were audits, there were investigations going on, and the Walmart mass shooting, in our opinion, was uh, uh, orchestrated and yeah, and they did it. They did it, and think about all the people that died, um, in order to divert the attention of the law enforcement, those that do the investigating, right? So instead of investigating the cartel criminal trafficking ties to Fort Bliss, They're now um, focused on the Walmart mass shooting. So that's our opinion. We have so much evidence that really confirms that and shows that. And that's why that case is so connected to Richard's case. And that could only be done if you think about judges now, during this time, because President Trump did win the election. He did come in on January 20th, 2025. And, I don't think it's a mistake that on January 24, 4 days later, that we receive a whole new legal packet, right? A legal strategy packet. And that's what I call this in the line of duty. I mean, I'm very happy that they designated Richard's murder in the line of duty, okay? Because they had to do it, right? They had to do it. But why did they do it? Because they didn't do it because they love Richard or that they love us or they have any duty to us, because they would have done it a long time ago, because it was known a long time ago. So what drove them to have to to correct many different points of the DD 1300 to fit the truth that Richard was murdered in the line of duty on Fort Bliss. Why did they do that? And so we have been, of course, we're in March now. And, so we've been evaluating this DD 1300 legally, what that means, why they tried to do that, or why they didn't try to do it, why they did do it. And it's very, very interesting because absolutely admitting that Richard is a whistleblower, but they don't want to hold a press conference and say the Fort Bliss whistleblower soldier Richard Halliday, was reporting cartel tied criminal trafficking enterprise on Fort Bliss within his unit too. And the murder of him was orchestrated because, remember, the soldier that was assigned to his 24-hour security never showed up for duty. And we have witness testimony that he was forcibly taken from the barracks room against his will in uniform. And so, and remember that the soldier that was supposed to be guarding him that didn't show up, they gave us a false narrative that he gave, that he lied, and said that Richard had, walked away and gave, what he was wearing and this and that. And it was all a lie. So, it is, we've had to really slowly move the ball towards the truth over these 4.5, almost 5 years. And the evidence just shows the truth. If you push for the evidence, right? If you investigate and you collect the evidence and you keep calm, and I think for the most part we have really kept calm and put the evidence together, then you can see the truth. And the truth is that Richard was sparkling clean, really, just sparkling clean, and concerned about the children, the hundreds of thousands of children on Fort Bliss, that things were really, really bad, and that he stepped up. He stepped up and he complained. He made it official. He was the whistleblower. So he is the Fort Bliss whistleblower with integrity, that kept his integrity, that wasn't compromised. And of course, they retaliated really severely, continuously. They tried to do everything to him, right? But nothing stuck. Nothing stuck. He's like Teflon Richard, Teflon Halliday, just like Teflon Trump, right? When you're when the truth is on your side, it seems like you're Teflon. But really, all you're maintaining is your character. You're just maintaining a good character, good conduct, good character. And then you become Teflon, right? Um, unless you have rogue judges and the judiciary, you can see the FBI or the intelligence, of course, that can be used against you. But now what's happening is that they're using the judiciary, they're weaponizing that. And these rogue judges that are up to no good, they're absolutely up to no good and want no good for our country, right? If you want criminals to stay here, you're up to no good for our country, right? Especially if they're illegal criminals. So, and that's where I say the FBI absolutely needs to arrest Leilani Hart. They have no excuse, and deport her, absolutely charge her. They have so much, there's just um, no excuses for them not to arrest her. They need to arrest her as soon as possible. But we also have judges like Judge Samadrano and Judge David Campos Guadarrama, and the El Paso criminal law magistrate. Um, unlawful. They're all unlawful over there, um, the judges, because since 2015 they needed to be elected. Well, none of them are elected, so they're unlawful and they're illegitimate. They're illegitimate, unlawful, and they are breaking the integrity of the judicial system. And I think they almost want to do that to control the cases and allow the cartel tied criminal trafficking network to continue. And that means that their bank accounts need to be checked, because if they want that to continue, then who's greasing their hands, right? Who's greasing their palms? That would be the question, right? That would be the question. And that needs to be investigated to see whether or not that's happening, because their actions, raise red flags on that one. Um, can they be impeached? Can they be removed? These judges. Well, in the criminal law magistrate court, absolutely. Because they're illegitimate, they're not even supposed to be there. It's supposed to be elected. They're supposed to be elected, so they can absolutely be removed. That's not a problem. But what about the likes of David Guadarrama? Um, can he be impeached? Has he met the impeachment threshold? And I'm going to tell you that there is not a doubt in my mind. We have a little book. I don't know if it's a huge book. Maybe it's getting medium size. I don't know, but it's a little book of all of um, his misbehaviors, right? And the Constitution says you can only keep that cushy job, and it's a cushy job, okay? It is a very cushy job, and he gets lots and lots of benefits and good pay and everything like that. Maybe not as good as that Ysleta, Priscilla DeMata's position. Wow, talk about a position. Woo! That's a position that you have to envy, and it's interesting. How does a person that's not qualified get a position like that, right? It's kind of like this position of the chief medical examiner, especially when there's other people that are far more qualified. But anyway, Judge Guadarrama has a really cushy job. And, there's one requirement to keep that for life, and that is good behavior. That's that's the requirement. That means no playing patty fingers in the criminal, the let's let's say the cartel tied criminal trafficking uh, uh, pocket, bowl, cup, bank, um, in that trafficking um, syndicate. No playing patty fingers with them. Um, e- no, what he did with Montoya was very clear that he was absolutely, yeah, playing. Um, oh, yeah, this is a good one. Playing patty fingers in the political poison pond, right? I think that's a good one. I think that should be a song. That these judges seem to be playing, misbehaving, playing patty fingers in the political poison pond. And, so they will absolutely do things for politics. Um, and, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay neutral as you can. And that's not what Judge Guadarrama did especially when it came to James Montoya. And James Montoya, um, it seems, I don't even want to say it was an accident. 2028 stamp on his statement of officer anti-bribe statement. Are you kidding me? 2028? 2028, is that playing patty fingers in the political poison pond? Um, it looks like textbook tampering to me. Looks like textbook tampering to me. And that includes Judge Guadarrama, because Judge Guadarrama absolutely, before he gave the oath, needed to say, have you turned in your statement of officer? Let me see your stamp by the Secretary of State of Texas, right? And so, not a notary stamp, and not um a county clerk stamp with a 28 on it, right? All of that was unnecessary, right? Which is like, okay, where did this paper come from? It has so many foibles, right? So many foibles on it, that it is scream tampering. So can Judge Guadarrama be impeached for bad behavior? Is there enough? I'm going to tell you right now, 100%, there is enough. So much so, because look at Jaime Esparza. He allowed Jaime Esparza to stay on the Walmart case for almost 2 years. He made a deal with Sam Madrano, Sam Madrano and Joe Spencer to delay the Walmart case. Um, there's so many things in our book of bad behavior for Judge Guadarrama. It's kind of like Santa Claus makes a list of who's naughty and who's nice. Judge Guadarrama has been very naughty, very naughty. And, the one requirement to keep his seat is that he has to be nice. He has to, um, in order to get all of the benefits, in order to be entrusted with the integrity of the judicial system, in order to have that honor, the honor of defending our Constitution, right? In order to sit on that bench with a robe, with the gavel in his hand, the requirement is that he has to be in good behavior. And he hasn't lived up to those requirements. He's been pretty naughty. And it's not that he's just going to get coal in his stocking, his little Christmas boot, right? He needs to lose his position. And I would say San Madrano also. And and of course, this is the big discussion going on right now because clearly you see the weaponization of the justice system and the judicial you know the judges, and we have a lot of cleaning up to do, and it's really sad because right now the judges have lost the privilege of the presumption of integrity, the presumption of honor, and they're going to have to be on their best behavior, right? Best good behavior. They're going to have to really earn back their title of being honorable, their title um, of being the judge. And I think it's too late for Judge Guadarrama. I think what he's done is too egregious. And I think so too with San Madrano. Millions and millions of taxpayer money. And it's egregious. The seals, the gag orders, there's all kinds of things there too. He has a little book too of, of bad behavior. And, so and why is this important? Because for our son's case to get accountability, we depend on a DA system and a judicial system. So the district attorney, the prosecuting, the whole judicial system has to be functioning properly in order to get accountability. And right now it's not functioning properly. And so that's why we need to clean it up, fix it up, and have it run properly. And part of cleaning it up is to remove those that are in bad behavior, those on the naughty list. And Judge Guadarrama's on the naughty list. He's very, very naughty. And so he really doesn't deserve to have all of those beautiful monetary benefits and all of the perks of being a federal judge. So, thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Thank you for sharing. Happy Saturday. Well, it's Sunday now, and we're burning the midnight oil. But I'm just very, very grateful for all your sharing, and we will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.